This was a time of bravery and ambition, where courage and duty shaped the lives of men and women. Heroism shone fiercely on the battlefields, while the air echoed with the sacred chants of rituals. The bull of Dharma still stood firm, though now supported only by the legs of truth and compassion. Yet, the golden era of Dwapar Yuga was fading, giving way to the approaching shadows of Kali Yuga, an age marked by strife, greed, and spiritual decay, ready to engulf the world in chaos. In this world ruled a mighty king named Padma, a man of unmatched wisdom and strength. Padma upheld traditions with unwavering dedication, like the ocean respecting its shore, and he eradicated evil as effortlessly as fire consumes dry hay. Holy men sought his refuge, while his enemies trembled at the mere mention of his name. Yet, even this great king was incomplete without his queen, Leela, a woman of extraordinary beauty and grace. Leela's voice was as soft as a gentle breeze, her smile as soothing as moonlight on a restless night. She was as pure as the sacred waters of the river Ganga, and to touch her was to know a bliss beyond words. Leela's devotion to Padma was unmatched. She shared his joys and sorrows, standing beside him as his equal in every way. She was a woman whose love transcended the realm of the mortals, defying the very boundaries of time, space, and reality. This is her love story across the multiverse. The soft golden glow of oil lamps illuminated the peaceful statue of Goddess Saraswati, a symbol of wisdom and creativity. Leela knelt before the goddess, her hands clasped in prayer. Her steady voice carried the sacred mantra, Om Shrim Bhrim Saraswatyai Namaha. Suddenly, a loud crashing sound echoed through the palace, breaking the serene silence and pulling Leela abruptly from her prayer. Her heart sank as she saw the shattered vase on the floor, her favorite flower crushed beneath the broken pieces. She turned her gaze toward the source of the commotion. In the grand hall stood Padma, his commanding voice ringing out as he addressed his advisors. The king of Sindhu has gone too far. He needs to be taught a lesson. I want our patrol boats to take control of the Saraswati River, he commanded. The advisors nodded in solemn agreement and departed to carry out his orders. As the room cleared, Leela stepped toward Padma and placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. What's troubling you, my king? She asked, her voice calm and soothing. Padma let out a deep sigh, though the fire of indignation still burned in his eyes. That insolent boy, who now rules Sindhu, refuses to pay tribute, he said. He mocks our strength and defies our sovereignty. Such arrogance. Leela listened patiently, her composure unwavering. If he's the one at fault, my lord, she said gently, shouldn't he bear the consequences? Why let this anger punish you instead? Padma paused, her words cutting through the storm inside him. Slowly, a faint smile crept across his face. "You're right," he said, his tone softening. "Why should I lose my peace over this? I'll make him lose his instead." The days that followed saw a marked change in Leela. She fulfilled her duties with precision, but her usual warmth and cheer seemed distant. Padma noticed, but said nothing. One afternoon, he followed her to the palace gardens and found her kneeling over a smothered flower, tenderly trying to salvage it. Padma recalled that it was the same flower he had unintentionally destroyed in his fit of anger. A pang of guilt washed over him as he recalled the broken vase. The next morning, Padma gently woke Leela and placed a blindfold over her eyes. "Do not remove it until I say so," he urged. Curious but trusting, Leela complied. When the blindfold was removed, her breath was caught in awe. Her breath was caught in awe. Her heart skipped a few beats. Before her lay an enchanted forest, filled with her favorite flowers in full bloom. Each petal shimmered in the golden light of dawn. Leela stepped forward, her hands brushing against the blossoms. Her mood instantly elevated. Her heart swelled with joy. Padma picked a flower from the ground and fixed it in Leela's cascading hair and said, "Ah, now the flower looks beautiful." Leela turned scarlet and embraced him tightly and whispered ever so tenderly into his ears, "You always know how to cheer me up." Later, as they rode down the mountainside, he led her to the edge of a cliff, where a breathtaking view unfolded. A vast expanse of land stretched endlessly, with the mighty Saraswati River winding through it like a silver ribbon. Padma stood tall, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "This," Padma said, his voice steady and filled with determination, "this is the land I will conquer soon. And beyond it, the entire planet, just like my ancestor Parikshit." Leela was glancing nervously at the drop below. She replied, "I'm sure one day you will, my king. But can we step away from the edge now? You know, I'm not too fond of heights." Padma chuckled softly, taking her hand and guiding her away with warmth. The Saraswati River, flowing gracefully, formed the natural border between Padma's kingdom and the kingdom of Sindhu. Petrel boats adorned with Padma's royal insignia moved steadily across the water, their banners waving boldly in the breeze. Soldiers aboard stood alert, their armor shining in the warm glow of the setting sun. Suddenly, a thunderous explosion shattered the calm. The boats erupted into flames, their proud banners consumed in the inferno, leaving behind only smoldering debris floating on the river's surface. Anger flared in King Padma's eyes as he received the grim news and discovered that the attack was the work of Dryuhu, the ambitious king of Sindhu. To Padma, this was no ordinary conflict. It was a blatant challenge to his authority. "We will march to Sindhu," he declared, his voice firm and resolute. Driuhu must learn the cost of his arrogance. The court erupted with shouts of support. His generals cheered loudly, their hands instinctively gripping the hilts of their swords, ready to follow their king into battle. Amidst the excitement, a calm yet steady voice broke through. It was Leela. She stepped forward and in a composed tone said, "My king, is it true that our patrol boats entered Sindhu's waters without permission? If so, wouldn't it be wiser to resolve this matter through dialogue rather than the devastation of war?" For a moment, the court fell silent. Padma's generals exchanged uneasy glances until one of them, Leela's own brother, stepped forward to challenge her words. "This is no time for diplomacy, Leela," he said with the confidence of a battle-hardened warrior. "Sindhu is like ripe fruit, ready to be plucked. Your Majesty, this attack is the perfect excuse. Annexation isn't just an option, it's our destiny." The other generals nodded in agreement, their voices rising in support. "Driuhu has provoked us, and now he must face the consequences." Padma's eyes moved between Leela and his generals. The seed of resolve within him, already firm, solidified into unshakable determination. "Prepare the army," he ordered, his voice sharp and decisive. "We march at dawn." Leela's shoulders dropped slightly. As she stepped back, her plea ignored. The queen, who had always been his steadying presence, could only watch as the storm of war gathered. A fleet of enormous battleships, proudly displaying King Padma's insignia, cut through the turbulent waters of the mighty river Saraswati. As they neared the enemy shores, Driuhu's navy moved to intercept them, firing cannons and unleashing fire-tipped arrows. Despite their fierce resistance, Driuhu's forces were no match for the sheer power of Padma's fleet. The massive ships tore through the enemy lines, crushing their defenses with effortless force. As the colossal ships reached the enemy shore, the scene was nothing short of breathtaking. The air was thick with tension as waves of soldiers charged with adrenaline poured onto the land. Spine-chilling battle cries filled the air, and the piercing sound of conch shells announced the arrival of the king. And then, amidst the rising clamor, King Padma emerged. He stood tall in his magnificent golden chariot, his armor gleaming brilliantly in the light. With his divine bow in hand and an aura of unmatched authority, he radiated strength and commanded awe. Padma drew a magnificent gold-tipped arrow from his quiver and knocked it onto his bow with deliberate precision. He chanted an ancient mantra while pulling the bowstring to its very limit and released the arrow in the direction of his enemy. It tore through the sky, piercing through the heavy clouds and shattering the sound barrier with a deafening crack. The arrow descended with flawless precision. Striking the ground, the earth trembled on impact, and intricate cracks spread outward like veins, forming the unmistakable pattern of Padma's royal insignia, a bold declaration of his sovereignty. The war had officially begun. A roar erupted from both sides, and the foot soldiers charged at each other with cries of vengeance. When they clashed, the impact was earth-shattering, like the smashing of two atoms, igniting a chain reaction. The thunderous noise of battle shook the skies, with the clashing of swords and the fierce cries of warriors filling the air. The battlefield transformed into a maelstrom of chaos. Driuhu, who had remained composed amidst the chaos, observed his enemy's every move with sharp, calculating eyes. The moment had arrived to unleash his true strength. With a calm and steady demeanor, he raised his bow and knocked the Gandharvastra, a weapon of immense power. Chanting an ancient mantra, he released the arrow into the sky. It soared through the air with a thunderous roar, moving at incredible speed. As it climbed higher, the arrow multiplied into 1,000 more, transforming into a swarm of deadly missiles. Like relentless locusts, they descended upon Padma's army, striking with chilling accuracy. Shields splintered, armors pierced, and the battlefield was filled with the anguished cries of soldiers. As chaos erupted among his ranks, Padma stood there, unyielding and furious. He reached for his quiver and pulled out the dreaded Nagastra. Chanting a mantra of equal potency, he launched the Nagastra toward the enemy. The arrow pierced the enemy ground and began pulsating with an otherworldly frequency. Suddenly, the earth beneath Driuhu's army came alive, and from every crack, crevice, and unseen orifice in the ground, serpents of unimaginable sizes and forms began to spill forth. The arrow had summoned the deadliest and most dreadful serpents from the subterranean realms. They started wreaking havoc on Driuhu's army. Their worst nightmares had suddenly come alive. Leela awoke with a start, her heart racing to the sharp, relentless cries of a bird. Rising from her bed, she stepped cautiously onto the balcony. There, perched on the edge of the ornate railing, was its dark, piercing eyes fixed directly on hers. For a moment, neither moved. Then, with a sudden, deliberate motion, it spreads its enormous wings and took off, soaring into the grey, overcast sky. Leela's eyes followed its flight as it joined a flock of ravens circling ominously above. A chill ran through her, and a deep unease took hold of her heart. Unconsciously, her fingers tightened around the delicate flower Padma had given her.